What a crazy flash crash did we have seen in the markets. Absolutely insane. But the most important question right now is, of course, will this change anything for this bull market? Are the structures changed on certain charts? What do certain data sets tell us? Guys, in today's video, I'm going to try to give you the most complete picture of where I'm looking at right now in the markets. We are going to have a look at stablecoin dominance, liquidation heat maps, other charts, altcoin charts. We're going to have a look at all of that and going to make a conclusion whether this bull market has ended, whether there are some risks that have been increased, or whether we can still continue this bull market as we have been expecting before the flash crash. So guys, let's jump straight into it. Guys, how absolutely crazy was this flash crash? It was really insane and the community was very active. I was awake till 3 o'clock talking with everybody in the community about what is happening right here. I, of course, did not expect it. I personally believe, guys, that this is a insider job. Maybe my mind is already a little bit conspiracy programmed, but I can just not imagine that this happens out of nothing, because I know for a fact myself, with trading altcoins and trading low liquidity pairs, that it takes a lot of liquidity, of course, to remove it from the order book to really drive the prices down. So anyone who starts selling these big amounts, they know it will cascade a huge liquidation event. So I personally do not believe that this is just accidental. I also do not believe that you could predict this based on technical analysis. Of course, there was some liquidity below us, but yeah, I'm not really a fan of that, because we have also some traders that are already screaming for a black swan since Bitcoin was trading at 15 or 20,000 US dollars. And again, this is not against anybody, but it's just not serving you right if you are expecting all the time a black swan event or prices going to extreme low levels. Of course, sometimes you will be right, but most of the time you will miss out on gains. But yeah, that doesn't change the fact that we have seen flash crash, and it was definitely more on altcoins than on Bitcoin. Of course, right before the flash crash, somebody opened a huge long over on Hyperliquid. It's also a little bit sketchy. So guys, I would really take that into consideration when viewing this price action, because it looks that it is highly manipulated and it was an organized event. That is what I can make of it, but I can also be completely wrong, okay? Now, let's have a look at the structure of Bitcoin. Bitcoin is actually, with all this flash, is still looking pretty good, right? There are some warning signals that I'm going to share with you later in this video, but if we just look at Bitcoin and we zoom out right here on the weekly time frame, then we have the only thing that is a little bit sketchy is we had an all-time high right here. We broke that all-time high and then we got back below it. So there is some weakness with breaking the previous high, because we had some weeks of consolidation right here. Timing was good with the 60-day cycle and everything. So that's why this flash crash kind of ruined this momentum, to be honest. But also, we haven't lost this support, this uptrending support. If we are losing this uptrending support, guys, I have to definitely say that there are increased risks. Why? Because we are right now in the timing band of the end of the 4-year cycle. And actually, personally, I would have thought, but I might gonna change my mind on that, and I will explain you exactly why. But I would have thought that we are going to see a top for Bitcoin in October 2025. I have written down these dates already for quite a while. I would expect a top in the Bitcoin price in October 2025. Can we rally still higher? Yes, of course. And October has not been finished, right? We still can go way higher. Maybe we top in November. It's also possible. But the thing that we have to realize is, based on the historical patterns and rhythms that Bitcoin has shown in the past, we are in the area, and we have, of course, a couple of months margin on each side, because it is a very macro event that is taking place. So we have some margin on both sides, but we are in that area of a topping phase. So the further we are in time, the more likely we are closer to a top. And this top looks, if this were to be a top, which I personally do not think right now, but if it were to be a top, it looks like a completely different market than we have seen in the previous bull markets. And then I would think, why would that change? Why would the timing band, the rhythm would be the same, but why would be the mentality and behavior completely different? And why is it different? Because we have, first of all, not seen extreme euphoria right here at the peak of Bitcoin. Also, we have not seen these crazy amounts of volume that we normally see. Also, we have not seen all the television talking about it, hyping it up, mainstream media hyping it up to get retail in. So we have not seen all these things, and I believe that that's definitely, if this were to be a top, would be a very big missed opportunity for the whales and influential people that are playing the game on a different level, that are positioned in crypto. Because if you look at all the altcoins that are really crushed down very much, then how are these holders going to get any profits from the tokens they have been collecting with these crashes? Because guys, you cannot, I'm 100% sure of it, that there are many influential people and probably the United States government and whatnot accumulating crypto at a very big rate. We can see this. It's so crazy. Like right before Trump post about the China tariffs, there's a short being opened, right? Like you are seeing all these correlations. It's super clear in broad daylight that crypto will be the liquidity sucker of the regular financial system. Crypto is going to take it over, so to say. So definitely when you look at a very long horizon, I'm extremely bullish, and all the structures for a very long horizon are all confirming that bullishness. But I want to be a little bit more specific to you guys. So we have on Bitcoin this uptrend. If we were to, let's say, decisively break below this uptrend right here, then the chances increase that we top for this bull market, right? So what could that mean? Well, that could mean that we are going to see a consolidation till roughly maybe the middle or end of 2026. So we have some it can be maybe even like slightly sideways. It can be like ending with a capitulation event. You never know, but it means that the period will be downwards. The general trend in that year will be to the downside. So that's something to take into consideration, right? I've been through many of these bear markets, to be honest, and you definitely want to have some cash behind if we are entering the bear market. And like I said, I'm not saying that we have already entered it, because we do not have any confirmation about it. But if we were to break this uptrend decisively, so we see a little bit of a change in structure from this bullish structure, I definitely would consider to take some chips off the table just in case to survive this year, or maybe to rebuy a little bit later. But now we are going to the other signals, guys, and that is, first of all, liquidation heat maps. Where's the liquidity right now? Well, there is no liquidity because everything has been swept. So if you look at the liquidity right now, the liquidity is definitely very clearly above us. We have seen a liquidation event. Normally these liquidation events are followed, guys, and this is very important, are followed with big rallies. As below, so above. What comes down must come up. What comes up must come down. So we have seen this with COVID too, and this is something that I recognize in myself a little bit, is like when COVID happened and Bitcoin dropped from 10K to 3K, right? And it climbed back up to 10K. Then people were at 10K, people were like, whoa, taking profits, because they were thinking like, "Pooh, we just had that crazy dump to 3K. We're back at 10K. Okay, let's take some chips off the table." That was the general market sentiment, so to say. But that launched Bitcoin into going to $60,000 with not too many corrections. Just like go. So I would say this is definitely comparable, if not worse, than the COVID crash that we have seen, at least for altcoins. And if you look at altcoin charts, you definitely think, like, scratch your head, like, how low can it actually go? So yeah, I definitely believe that some big, call it market makers, call it the United States government or whatever, they have been scooping up definitely a very big portion of crypto all across the board, like the various altcoins, exchanges, you name it. And they, of course, need their exit liquidity as well. And the only way to get exit liquidity is, of course, to create this hype, to create the hype and to get retail in, to get new money into the markets. Otherwise, if there is a very thin order book and you take out some profits, the price just drops to the floor. So you cannot really take profits if the order book is not really thick. Okay, now let's go to the whale portal signals. What can we say right now? Well, we have some buying pressure at the lows right here. That was pretty interesting. Normally in a bull market, guys, when we see these green points of buying pressure and we are still in a bull market, we should see price going up. We should see price going up when we are seeing these green dots right here. And I'm saying in a bull market, right? Then when we have a look at the momentum indicators, we can see that definitely momentum is a little bit low, but we can be curving to the upside. We get kind of like a bullish divergence on the momentum waves. And one thing in specific that I want to share is the premium index, which made a record low of going into minus 2.3%. Why do I say that? Because the premium index, once it hits such an extreme, often signals a reversal. And this is a very big extreme. So I would definitely say these are all signals we put in our basket of the first direction will be to the upside. Now let's go to the altcoin charts, and let's start with the altcoin, the total crypto market cap excluding Bitcoin and Ethereum. So let's have a look at the general structure right here. The general structure is actually still intact. So we have kind of like this triangle formation and we have this horizontal resistance. And believe it or not, even with this flash crash, the chances to break a horizontal resistance is always higher than to break a diagonal resistance. So when you have any pattern, when there is a horizontal resistance, it's always the more likely outcome to break that horizontal resistance. So I believe that that's going to be the case right here as well. Maybe you can even maybe it's not completely horizontal, it's slightly diagonal. However, I think if you zoom out from a macro perspective, it is pretty horizontal. And I see this as a ascending triangle. So we had a retest of these lows, and maybe we do get another test for the highs. And the more we test this vertical line right here, the higher the chance that we are going to break out. And it would also be extremely rare to see Bitcoin going to new all-time highs, Ethereum going to new all-time highs, but the altcoin markets will not follow. I can really, it's a hard time for me to believe that, okay? Now, I want to share some charts with you guys, and of course, these are my biggest holdings. First of all, guys, I want to share with you Dash, because Dash, I think, is looking extremely bullish. And this is not my biggest holding, but definitely one of the bigger holdings. My biggest holding is Litecoin. But here you can see we have this falling wedge formation, and I've mentioned this in the previous video as well. The thing what we should not underestimate right here, this is a pattern that has been developed over 7 years. 7 years is a very long time. Imagine what were you doing 7 years ago, right? I know exactly where I was 7 years ago, and I was also busy with the Dash chart 7 years ago, but it feels like an eternity away for me. But I can still remember the emotional connection and sentiment people had around this token, and I think that can come back due to the long-term track record these Dino tokens have. So what we can see is that we actually broke, and it's still holding above it. We haven't, so the next level we need to do is we need to break the previous high. That's very important. But the first sign that we broke the resistance of a falling wedge, we have done that. and so far it is holding above this falling wedge. So maybe on the daily time frame, you could even say we have kind of like a retest, right? We break out, we have a retest, and I'm extremely bullish on Dash, guys. If you want to buy Dash, you can do so on Femix. I have a link down below in the description if you're interested in that. But anyhow, this token was on the day from the crash, and you don't really see that much of a crash here. Was on the day of the crash, at the end of the day, it was still 5% up. It was not down at all. So this token showed a lot of strength. This was one of the tokens that showed a lot of strength during this crash. And that is very interesting, because if it shows that much strength during a crash, how much momentum will it show when the market are turning in your favor? And we can already see the target of this formation, guys, is technically the top of the falling wedge, which would be like, let me see, which would be roughly like 1100, 1200, 1300 US dollars. We are right now trading at 50 US dollars. So like I said, the next thing that we need to do right here is we need to break the previous high, because first of all, we need to break the structure, then we need to change the trend. So right now we broke the structure, we broke the resistance, but we have not changed the trend, right? So we do get a higher low right here, but we need to get a higher high in order to get this downtrend, this 7-year downtrend that has been happening, into an uptrend. That's very important. So that's just the next step, right? But the early signs are already very, very positive. Then we go to Litecoin. This is let's go to Zcash first, guys. This is also doing pretty insane. Also a Dino token, more a privacy token, but these privacy options are also on Dash and Litecoin. Now let's go to Litecoin. And Litecoin, I gotta say, guys, is slightly sketchy in the shorter term time frame, and I'm going to explain exactly why. So we have this long-term pattern, also a pattern of 8 years. This is even a longer pattern maybe than Dash. It's probably quite similar, but 7 to 8 years this has been consolidating, guys. Once this breaks out to the upside, you can expect XRP types of moves. So I will definitely expect that we are going, once we are breaking out, depending where we are breaking out, we have rallies of 600-700%, because this, like, don't underestimate a 7-year long consolidation. This is a very long time. Very long time. There have been times in the past where Litecoin was super popular, where people were really looking up against Litecoin and really feeling it was the silver to Bitcoin, and that sentiment is coming back, right? You already see a lot of people talking about Litecoin on social media. It's getting more hype. I think these Dino tokens will really get a comeback, guys, and I already thought XRP is the proof of that, because we have seen the first rally of this bull market from the altcoin. In this altcoin season was actually XRP in late 2024. But Solana was actually also a good runner. But the move of XRP was absolutely insane. And XRP pulled off that move in 2017 too. And after XRP, Litecoin made that similar move, right? Litecoin made this move after XRP made that insane rally. So that was my initial reason why I thought history can repeat itself. So I'm going to position in Litecoin. But if we zoom in into the shorter term time frame, we have an uptrend that we broke down. So we broke this uptrend. And yeah, this is a little bit sketchy if you tell me, because maybe we do get a little bit more downside, and then, you know, this triangle takes a little bit longer to play off. It's even possible, guys, that we are going to see the bear market. This would be a very negative situation, that we would see the bear market, and then in the next rally, in the next bull market, we are seeing all these things pop off in 2027. This is just a scenario that is in my mind, right? But we did technically, from a technical standpoint, we did broke an uptrend on Litecoin. Then, guys, I want to share with you some warning signals that I'm seeing, and those are on the stablecoin dominance. So let's start with this one. This is US dollar Tether and USDC. What do we see here? Well, we have, this is the structure I've been looking at already for quite a while, and we have this falling wedge, broke out to the upside, retest right now coming up, and we have this, what do you call it, like this sideways channel where we are trading in the middle, and yeah, it looks like we didn't even come to the bottom of the sideways channel, which is something that I've actually would expected. So this is something that really has to roll over quickly, I would say, in order to save this bull market. Let's have a look at US dollar Tether. This one is also, again, a little bit sketchy because we have this bigger declining channel, and within that bigger declining channel we have a smaller sideways channel, and we are right now at the resistance of the bigger declining channel, and we definitely should get rejected from this resistance, and I'm talking about this resistance right here, the white line. We definitely should roll over, like get rejected right here and break this support if we want to see the bull market, right? But if we break out of this structure, then you can already see where we're going. We're going probably to the resistance right here. So we got to be a little bit careful of that. But yeah, in the shorter term time frame, in the next coming weeks ahead, guys, I definitely think that the price action will be to the upside. Main reason, even though it doesn't matter whether we are a bull or bear market, the price will be to the upside, in my opinion. First of all, we get the liquidity that is there, is above us, right? Yeah, guys, drop a thumbs up. So the liquidity that is there is above us. We have seen this big liquidation event, and this big liquidation event, believe it or not, definitely changed the sentiment. I think many people are right on the markets a little bit fearful, and they are doubting about the bull market, and they have quite legitimate reasons to doubt. So yeah, so this is all changing the structure in the short-term time frame, right? So I believe from the signals that I'm seeing right now, it is definitely way more likely for Bitcoin and crypto to get some rallies in the next coming weeks. And if that can be the end of the bull market rally, where we really see things taking off and things go way higher than we expect, well, that would be, of course, very awesome. But we have to assess that once we are seeing liquidity rotating and once we are seeing things rallying. But like I said, for whether the bull market has stopped and the bear market has started, it's not that. And guys, it's very important that you realize on what time frame I'm talking about. So I'm talking about the next coming weeks, I personally believe are bullish. The next coming year, I'm not so sure. The next coming 3 years, I'm extremely bullish. So you get my point? So it's all about time. So I'm not so sure about that middle point, what I just said. Like I said, like that 1 year, I'm not so sure, but things will unfold more clearly and we will become more sure about what to do personally. So yeah, guys, that was it for today's video. Hope you enjoyed it. Sorry I have not been uploading videos in the past couple of days. I have a lot of busyness going on right now. I have a lot of things to do. So yeah, guys, I will upload just as much as possible as I can whenever I have time. Right now it was, of course, very important to give a more detailed update about the markets. And I hope you guys liked it, guys. And if so, drop a thumbs up, subscribe if you are new, and yeah, I want to wish every single one of you a beautiful day today, and I hope to see every single one of you in the next video. Bye bye.